Okay, so we all think we know the story of Helen Keller, right? But what if the version we learned in school kind of missed the most important part? Today, we're not just looking back at history. We're going to uncover a powerful blueprint for leadership and vision that is, believe it or not, more relevant right now than ever before.
Seriously, just stop for a second and try to imagine that. Your entire world is just a void. No sunlight, no music, no faces of the people you love, just a constant, inescapable silence and darkness. This wasn't some nightmare she could wake up from. For Helen Keller, this was just reality. To really grasp the scale of her achievements, we have to start right here, with the absolutely crushing weight of her isolation. It's a challenge so massive, it's almost impossible for us to truly wrap our heads around. So, she was born a healthy child back in 1880, but before she was even 2 years old, a terrible illness swept through and just extinguished both her sight and her hearing. Her early years weren't some quiet, peaceful existence. No, they were a storm of pure rage and confusion. She was a brilliant mind, completely trapped and desperate to connect with a world she couldn't see or hear. Think about that darkness. Not just, a dark room, but the total absence of light. No faces, no sky, no colors. Just an endless, empty black. And then, the silence. A world with no music, no laughter, no comforting voice. And maybe most critically, a world without the words you need to form thoughts and make sense of everything around you. But right there, in that seemingly hopeless void, a single moment was about to ignite a revolution in her mind. And it wasn't just a little spark of understanding, it was like an explosion of light in her silent, dark world. The catalyst for all of this change was one absolutely remarkable person, Anne Sullivan. She wasn't just a teacher. Anne showed up like a force of nature, completely convinced that she could unlock the brilliant mind she knew was trapped inside. And this brings us to that legendary moment at the water pump. So imagine this. Cool water is rushing over one of Helen's hands, and at the exact same time, Anne is spelling the letters W-A-T-E-R into her other hand. And then, click, it happened. This sudden electrifying realization that the thing in one hand had a name in the other. In that one instant, her entire universe unlocked. Everything had a name. You see, that single moment of connection didn't just open a door. It unleashed a tidal wave. Helen didn't just learn to communicate. She armed herself with language and set out to change the world. I mean, just consider the sheer scale of this. She became the very first deaf-blind person in history to earn a Bachelor of Arts degree, and she did it at the prestigious Radcliffe College. This was so much more than a diploma. It was a defiant statement to the world about the incredible, limitless potential of the human spirit.
And believe me, that degree was only the beginning. She went on to become a world-famous author, a really powerful speaker, and a relentless activist. She basically took her own struggle and turned it into her life's mission, fighting for organizations like the American Foundation for the Blind so that others wouldn't have to face the same battles she did. But how? How did she do all this? I mean, sure, raw determination was part of it, but that's not the whole story. The real secret sauce, the true source of her power, lies in a principle that fuels every single great leader, the power of a clear, unshakable intention. And this right here is the crucial insight. See, intention isn't some fuzzy feeling. It's a deliberate choice. Helen Keller made a conscious decision to completely pivot her focus. She stopped dwelling on what she lacked, sight and hearing, and instead she aimed her entire being at answering one simple question: what can I give? This is it. This is the whole ballgame. Her physical reality was one of darkness and silence, but her internal reality, her intention, was to be a source of light and a voice for millions. In the battle between her circumstances and her intention won, hands down. Okay, so let's bring this powerful lesson into our own lives, because her story isn't just something to be stuck in a history book. It's a practical playbook for navigating the challenges that we all face right now, today. Think about the things that hold us back, That feeling of having no motivation, the fear of failing, or worrying about what other people will think. These can feel huge to us, but when you hold them up next to a world of total darkness and silence, they suddenly look a lot smaller, don't they? This is the absolute core lesson here. Helen Keller's life is definitive proof that you do not need perfect conditions to do amazing things. You don't need everything to be lined up in your favor. You just need one thing: a clear, powerful intention. That is where all real achievement actually begins. So the real question for you isn't about your limitations. It's not about your fears. It's not about your excuses. The only question that truly matters is this one: what is your intention? What is the vision that you are going to commit to bringing to life? Because the answer to that question is what will create your future. I'll just leave you with her own powerful words, which sum this all up perfectly. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. She proved that true sight has absolutely nothing to do with our eyes. It has everything to do with our intention.